Hi, this is Ingrid reporting for Snap TV. Tonight we're meeting with Jean-François Bouchard, president of Sidley, the commercial creativity firm. He'll be introducing us to his new exhibit, La Société Secrète. You can come and enjoy those unusual shots here at the Darling Foundry until March 1st.
It started with a fascination with people who are willing to travel all the way across the world to share very, very specific common interests and ideas. And this gave me the idea of searching for like-minded people around the world, and it became almost a hobby of mine. And it now makes sense to track them and find them wherever they go.
Has this exhibit or photo shoot changed you in any way?
Well, as you could see, the subjects are really interesting people with peculiar interests. So just being among those groups was a very fascinating experience. I'm a fairly conservative person myself, but I guess now I am more comfortable with people who have very different tastes and peculiar outlooks on life, I guess.
You work for Sidley, an agency known for commercial creativity, amazing work. Now, what does photography bring you that you don't get from work on a daily basis?
You know, creativity is a state of mind, but it's also something you have to act upon every day. And I believe it has to happen commercially, but also artistically, and that the two can feed on each other. So this is really what it's about. It's about keeping an open mind and venturing into new forms of creativity.
I think there's also the Sidley Collective that generates all bunch of different projects.
Well, actually, this is part of the Sidley Collective, because what we do is we encourage people to undertake and really try to go to the full extent of their creative abilities by doing their own personal projects. So it's pretty much how we do things, making sure, again, that we mix our commercial reality with our cultural interests as well.
Very interesting. Now, what do you want people to remember out of your exhibit?
Well, I think the one thing that surprised me a bit that I found beautiful is how people from very different walks of life, and I've seen, you know, rich businessmen from Silicon Valley, because they shared some interest, some very singular interest with other people, they ended up connecting with, say, a fire eater that's 18 years old on the rave scene. And usually those people would never, ever share a human moment. And in those very special groups, they do. They find a commonality that I find very interesting, and I see beauty in that. So this, I hope people will see in this exhibit.